Good morning. Welcome everybody. My name is Alfredo Garcia. I'm a team leader of the support department at Openprovider. And today, together with my colleague and second line support, Martin van Bokhorst, we are going to tell you about this webinar, which is called Supportability. Most probably, the word supportability says nothing to you. For us, supportability basically means all kind of changes or improvements that make things easier for us and most important for our customers. Just two quick examples before starting this webinar so that you can have an idea about what supportability is. The first example, the email that our system sends to confirm an incoming transfer of a .com domain, which is called VOA email. This email could not be resent. You had to contact us by email or telephone so that we could resend the email for you. Now, it is possible to resend the email from your panel by clicking on a button. Therefore, you need to go to the queue of transfers, and if you search for the domain, you will see a button in there to resend this email. Another example, for an outgoing transfer of a .co.uk domain, you need to change the IPS tag of the domain, as you already know, I guess. Until some weeks ago, you had to send an email to support@openprovider.nl so that we could change the tag for you. We saw that this could be much easier if the reseller could change the tag himself. So first we implemented it via API, and since a couple of weeks ago, it is possible to change the tag of the domain from the reseller control panel, as you can see on the screenshot. This is the agenda of today. We will tell you about how support works. I will introduce you to our team. You will see what we do with your feedback and what the company is doing nowadays and the influence that it has for you as our customer. After a short introduction to the support team and the way we work, my colleague, Martin van Bokhorst, will tell you about all new projects where the company is working now. Some of these projects are already live and you can use them. Before taking a look on the current situation of the support department, we need to go back to the past for a minute. For the past years, our support team was formed by 2-3 people. We received then around 250 questions per week from our customers. It was just doable with 2 persons. In these 250 questions, we only tell the questions that customers sent to us. We do not tell the tickets that we created for our customers if they called, for example. In the last 3-4 years, Openprovider has grown around 30% per year. This means more quantity of domains, more certificates, etc. And as a result of this growth, the number of customers with questions has grown as well. Also, new products like new GTLDs or our membership business models help increase the amount of questions that we receive. The current situation is that our support receives around 500 questions a week and a bit less than 200 calls. So in 1 year, the growth of the amount of questions has increased around 40–50%. And since that moment, we saw that we had to change a couple of things to make sure that our customers still receive the fast answer from us, for example. One of the goals of Openprovider, according to our mission, is to grow faster than the 30% that we are growing every year. We are sure that it is possible to grow faster, but we need to change some things to make sure that the growth of the company is not going to affect the quality of the services that we offer. So in order to grow that fast and provide a good service to our customers, we have decided to change some processes, and we have introduced the ROCs. The ROCs is a theory that comes from the Rockefeller habits, and it is a theory that says that the company should focus every quarter on specific topics to make sure that all the areas and departments of the company are aligned. This way, the company is ready to go faster than ever. One of the rocks for this quarter is to reduce the load of the support team by automating processes, for example. This rock is called Supportability. We wanted to present it to you because you are a very important part for this rock. Because all kind of changes from the Supportability rock will have a positive impact on our customers, and will help reduce time on your daily work with the panel of Openprovider. Later on, we will tell you which changes these are, but for so far, I can say that the theory of the rocks has changed the way our department works. In 2015, we hired more people, and on the other hand, we also decided to check our current processes and analyze if we could further improve the usability for our customers. We have a weekly meeting to talk about the amount of questions that we receive every week and to see if we can do something to reduce them by changing the current processes. After analyzing what the customer wants and needs, we initiated some projects to make our system better. Martin will tell you more about these projects later on. The focus and main goal of our support team is to help our customer with whatever he wants or needs, to provide the customer with an efficient and a fast answer, and at the same time to ask ourselves why the customer had this question and if we could have done anything to prevent the question. Of course, we like to help our customers, but our system must be intuitive or user-friendly enough, and in an ideal situation, the customer shouldn't need us. All the changes that we've made in our team allow us to be more flexible because we are enough people now, and it also allows us to have a dedicated person per product. This way, Marielle is the dedicated person for transfer of domains. She's also in charge of the satisfaction of our customers. This is a new department that we have created to make sure that we handle the feedback from our customers on the right way. We use a satisfaction survey for every ticket, which is on the firma of the ticket. This survey is called Nice Reply. Here, the customer can give us a rate, and he also can comment whatever he thinks that we could have improved or what we did good. I would like to invite you to use this survey because this really helps us to find out if we are on the right way or not. And also, the person who answers your ticket gets an email to his own email address with the rating that he got and your feedback, so we can see if we did it good or not. Marielle comes from our sales department, and since 2016 she's helping us at support. Paul Martin is the colleague who came to make our team stronger in 2015. He's currently in charge of all kind of procedures for new GTLDs and all kind of questions regarding DNS configuration. Martin is second line support, as said before, and he's also in charge of all of our plugins, API, and also spam experts and audit products. I am the fourth member of the support team based in the Netherlands. I'm a dedicated person for ssl-certificates, domain procedures, technical issues with Plesk, and I am the backup for our Spanish support department. The Spanish market is covered by our colleague Christian, who is also in charge of abuse and utility. Abuse are all kind of complaints regarding domains from our customers, and utility is something that we call, it's in fact emails from registries or third parties with, for example, procedures that the customer needs to do. In both cases, abuse and utility, Christian contacts our resellers to inform them about what needs to be done. As I said before, one of the rocks for this quarter is to reduce the load of the support team. With this tool, we can check every week how many tickets we received, and we can see the amount of questions that we received per product. It is also possible to filter per reseller. This way, we can investigate further if we can do something to change the current situation. If on a week we see different questions from the same customer about domains, for example, we can investigate why this is happening. We can check some tickets and then decide if we can help him on a different way than by answering all tickets one by one. Maybe a Skype meeting will be more efficient, for example. As a result of all the changes in the team, we can focus now 100% on the needs of our customers. The KPIs for the team for this year have been established, as you can see here. 95% of the tickets must be answered within 4 hours, and 100% of the tickets must be answered within 8 hours. Right now, we answer 97% of the tickets within 4 hours, and we are already working on improving these results. The objective at long term is to provide our customers with an answer within 1 hour after the ticket has been sent. In fact, we already do that in many cases nowadays. From the average of 500 tickets that we receive every week, between 30 and 40% of these tickets are answered within 1 hour. So now that you see how we work, we can take a deeper look into the rocks for this quarter. These are the current rocks. Rock number 1, reduce support load. I think you already have an idea with the examples that I give you. Martin will also show you some things that we have improved. The second rock is SSL in-house validation, which is basically a new platform so that you can follow up what the status from your order on SSL. Martin will also show you how it works. The third rock is reduce implementation of TLDs, which is a rock based on the time that our developers spend on the implementation of an extension. So now my colleague Martin will show you in detail some of the changes that we already made, and he will tell you further about our rocks for this quarter.
Right, thank you, Alfredo. So as said, Alfredo told you what we're doing and why we're doing it. Now I'm going to show you what we already have implemented and what we're still doing to improve. So one of the biggest issues we have on the department is SSL. The good part of this situation is that you talk to Alfredo a lot, which is good, but it's also the bad thing because everyone wants to talk to Alfredo. The problems and the confusion that arise with orders are so numerous that it's taking about half of Alfredo's time to just process these. So we're implementing a system to help with this, and the system will help to show the status of an order, to change the validation methods, and also prevent many back and forths. So how we're going to do this is quite simple. We're currently building a system that's called SSL in-house validation, and I think the A stands for application. In short, we say SLINVA, but it's a development name. The actual name is not really decided yet. What the system will do, it will show you the status of an order at all times. So when you place the order, you can see, did I complete the DCP? Did I complete the callback? Did I send the forms already? Did I do these things? Where is it currently hanging on? So you know specifically where to contact your customer for if it's not completed yet. The second part, DCP method changing, is quite simple. We show you a button, and in this button you can click and select any email address you want. That is allowed by the CA, of course, and resend the DCP emails. And the many back and forth with Komodo will be solved by pre-validating the order. So what we're going to do at the moment you place the order, we're going to check in the KVK, Chamber of Commerce, is the company there? Does it exist? We're going to check in the phone book. Does the number exist? We're going to gather all the information and check the who is if the domains exist to make sure that everything is aligned. And if something is not aligned, we'll warn you before already, hey, this does not match. We think we should do this. Please make sure to have everything aligned and corrected before we can continue the order. And this should prevent many back and forths, because at the moment you place the order, you already know which will be the problems. And this will save us, and you, of course, quite a lot of time. And also help increase the speed of the order delivery. Another problem we have is that we get quite a lot of calls about an error. So you're working in our control panel and suddenly you get a pop-up that says this went wrong and you don't understand it. Part of the problem is that registries are not very consistent or clear. Either errors are too big or too small, or something like this example, the authorization code is known by 7 different terms, and then we have the Swedish registry that decides to call it a password. But it gets better. So top left, for example, is quite a simple actual error technically. It just means your DNS is misconfigured. But it doesn't look like it. The error on the right says nothing at all. It's just an error code. And the error on the bottom is a good example of something that's actually clear, but it's too long. What we notice is that customers read an error, they say an unknown domain error occurred, and they're already picking up their phone. Because the error is so long, it's technical, it's not clear. What we're going to do is implement a system where support calls the shots. So for example, if we see that a big error occurs for .de domain name with a specific code at the registry, we already know that it's a DNS error. So we can make a custom error for the customer that simply says, instead of the confusing message we see here, it will tell the customer, hey, there's something wrong with your DNS configuration. Please make sure everything is correct. And here's the link to the name server check of Danik, where you can check if everything is aligned. This is just an example, of course. Many errors exist where a simple suggestion or a comment towards the customer can already help in giving the answer. So instead of having to read a knowledge base or call us, our system will already tell you, look, your authorization code is incorrect. You need to get a new one. Get it at the current registry, or your domain is locked. You cannot transfer it as long as it's locked. Simple, small messages that we can change whenever we want to. This will also allow us that when a customer calls us with an error that is still unclear, we can discuss with the customer and say, hey, what happened? Why was the error message unclear? What can we improve to make you understand it? And we can change it on the fly via the system, which should result in an update within a few minutes of this error, so that other customers will not have this issue anymore. Of course, we understand that there's also technical users, so we're going to make sure that the registry errors are still there. So if you see the nice and friendly message, you can still click to see what was the actual error, what happened at the registry. I know technical users prefer this way, so it will still be there. Another thing is bulk updates. We have our API. The API is strong and you can do quite a lot with it, but you need to be able to code. And you're not going to code every single change. But we see quite often that people change their company name, or someone gets fired or takes another job and someone new becomes the main contact, or you migrate all your name servers, or one of your customers goes to Office 365. For this, you need to either create a PAP script or any other language, or contact support, so we change it for you, but usually we charge money for the hours we take. Both of these are not ideal. So what we did, we created a tool, bulk tools. With this tool, you can actually quite simply input a list of domains and say, I want to change the contact. Input a list of domains and say, I want to change the owner handle or the name servers. And once you started it, you will have an overview of the tasks you started. So you can label each task. Here you see test 2 and test production 001. These are, of course, test runs I did to make the screenshot. But in the control panel, once you started these batches or these bulk updates, you can always see what is going on, how far did it progress, which ones succeeded, which ones failed, and always retry it when parts did not complete. So with this tool, that can be found, by the way, under domain management, bulk operations. With this tool, you can automate or easily update all your domains, depending on what you want to change. Of course, it's not done yet. Currently, it only has transfer and modified domain. Not even for modified domain, not all the options we have yet. We're still expanding. And in the future, we also want to include trade domain, transfer domain with different contact persons. You can also request authorization code for a bulk of domains, or delete them if you really want to. Suggestions are, of course, welcome. Please email them to support@openprovider.nl if you think something is missing or can be more clear. because your feedback really helps. So as said, your feedback really helps. One of the examples, or two of the examples actually, that we implemented this year already is API history. Our customers informed us, hey, when did this change, or who did this, or why was the name server suddenly different? And we always had to check the logs to find out what happened, when did it happen, where did it come from. Nowadays, you can go to the control panel, go to domain name, and on the bottom you will see last domain API activity. And if you click it, you can see all the API calls dating back to 2013 that were done for a specific domain name. So with this, you can easily find when did someone update the name servers and maybe even why. This should help. On the right, you see show deleted domains. Customers sometimes call us asking, where did my domain go? When was it deleted? Did it transfer out? Was the auto renew off? Because in the past, if the domain name was deleted, or cancelled, or expired, or transferred out, it was removed from our control panel. You could no longer see it, and you should then assume that maybe it was deleted or expired. Nowadays, you can filter for show only deleted domains, and you can see in the domain history what happened to the domain. These are two features that actually came from customers as a suggestion, and we thought they were good ideas, so we did them. Earlier, Alfredo told you about Christian, who does our abuse and utility email. It's actually interesting to look a bit further into this, because we get, of course, a lot of email from our customers, but also a lot of email from non-customers. So these are registries or third parties or trademark protection agencies, can be anything. And they mail us to inform us there's a web shop on the website that's illegal, or the contact data seems to be outdated, or whichever. What we see is that the more we grow, the more domains we get, naturally also the amount of abuse and complaints that we get increases. I actually have a small chart for this. So what you see in 2015, we had 500 to 1,000 emails of these. Nowadays, we are near 2,000 emails a week of abuse and utility. Luckily, a lot of it can be automated. So I think more than 80% is automatically forwarded to customers, but the remainder needs to be picked up with by Christian, and manually processed and all this. So automation is also in the rocks. We need to make sure that Christian is not overloaded by just forwarding 2,000 emails a week. We need to automate this. Something internally that we're not doing just for supportability, but for a longer time already, is the quick wins. It's actually quite a simple concept. As soon as you see something that's easy, or hey, if we change this text, it won't be confusing. If we move this button, it will be easier for our customers. Then we invite everyone within our company to suggest it. Just create a small description. What do you think would help? What do you think needs to be done? And someone will do it. Or maybe you can even do it yourself. One of the best examples of this is the reissue button. Nowadays, it is located where you see it. If you go to the details of a certificate, there's a big green button, reissue. It wasn't always there. In the past, it was all the way at the bottom of the page. I think it's even still there. So maybe if you scroll down, you see it. But you can't imagine how many calls we got from customers. How do I reissue a certificate? So the quick win was, let's move the button to the top. And since then, we have not received a call. So quick wins, small improvements, really help. So also here, just if you think some small thing can help, let us know. One more thing is we can pretend we are perfect and we never go down and everything is fine, but it's not realistic. Sometimes we go down, sometimes registries have maintenance, sometimes there's a disturbance, but it doesn't last long. But during these disturbances, mostly we get overloaded. So as soon as something goes slow or .nl has maintenance, we have 50 emails. We get 20 calls in a row, and we spend half the day just fixing that. What we did is we created a Twitter account. It's actually followed by quite a lot of customers already, but we invite you to follow it as well. So on the right, you can see some example messages that you see that we put here. So some maintenance for TLDs, or problems with pre-registrations that are not progressed, just big things that can affect a lot of customers are mentioned here to make sure that you know when it's happening immediately. So you don't need to sit half an hour later thinking, what is going on, what is happening, and be confused. Because it's not helping you, then you call us and we can say, we know and we're already working on it. It's not effective. So we created a Twitter account. Please follow it. so you're always up to date on the ongoing situations. Another thing is our knowledge base. A few years back, we started with a knowledge base, and it has grown quite a lot. Nowadays, I think it gets a few hundred views every day. And in it, we have documented TLDs, processes, extended information about SSL, and a lot of other things. And it's actually being migrated tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to launch the new knowledge base. And with this new knowledge base, we will have more toys for support, basically. We use Zendesk as a ticketing system. And Zendesk has plugins, but a lot of these plugins depend on our knowledge base being in this new version. So tomorrow we're going to migrate, and from then we can start automating more. And maybe one of the first ideas we have is when you submit a ticket, in the auto reply you get, it will already suggest a few example articles where we think, hey, this might help because our system thinks that this is related. So this is one of the examples. So from tomorrow on, the knowledge base will look at, as you see in the screenshot, slightly different than it looks now. But I think it's definitely an improvement. So as said before, feedback is welcome, and we welcome you to give it at all times. If you think something can be changed, if you think something can help you as a customer that we should put in our system, let us know. I can't promise we will do everything, of course, but if something is a really good idea, or it's a small idea and a big improvement, or a lot of customers ask for it, we will definitely consider it and try to implement it. And also, if you have questions based on this presentation, based on the things we did, or maybe one of the slides you would like some more info on, now's the time.
Thanks for joining us today, and see you on the next webinar. Have a good day.